Hello, everyone. My name is Nikitan Dobaria, and here we are discussing basic electrical engineering, in which we are discussing chapter number 2, AC circuit, where we are discussing a three-phase AC circuit. And in our previous video, we had discussed the introduction as well as the generation of three-phase AC voltage. Now we are going to move towards our next series of three-phase AC circuit. So here, let's start with the important definition of three-phase AC circuit. And first one over here is balance load. What is balance load? Here, the load that is the same and equal impedance. So, as we discussed in our previous lecture, when we design a three-phase AC circuit, so that is nothing but a combination of three individual single-phase circuit. Basically, there will be three loads, three branch, and on all phases, on all circuits, there will be impedance. Let's say Z1, Z2, and Z3. And if these three impedances are having same value, same magnitude, same direction, phase angle, so that kind of three-phase load is known as a balanced load. Now, unbalanced load, same way. If all branches will not have same load, so that is known as an unbalanced load. Next, balance phase voltage. Means again we are having three phases, three circuits, and in which we will have a three voltages. And all these three voltages, let's suppose that if they are having same magnitude and they are at same phase angle displacement of 120 degree, which was discussed in our previous video lecture. So, if this condition will be fulfilled, then that kind of voltages will be known as a balanced phase voltages. And same way, balanced phase current. If in all phases, if currents will be same, means magnitude of those current is going to be same as well as the phase angle displacement between these three phase currents is going to be same as of 120 degree, then in those conditions we can say balanced phase current. These three currents or three voltages are in balanced condition. If these kind of condition will not be fulfilled, then we can say unbalanced current or unbalanced voltage. And this all parameters, means phase voltage, phase current, as well as the load, if all are in balanced condition, then we can consider that kind of system in balanced system. And if this criteria will not be fulfilled, then we can consider that type of system as an unbalanced system. But here in our syllabus, we are going to consider only balanced system, only three-phase system in balanced condition. So whatever will be discussed now, that all will be considered by considering that here we are discussing the balanced system, three-phase balanced system. And now when we were discussing the introduction of three-phase AC circuit and generation of three-phase circuit, I mentioned that this is nothing but a combination of three individual single-phase circuit. We just combine those circuits and we form a three-phase circuit with some condition. And when this three circuits, these three individual single-phase circuit will be connected, but how it will be connected? So here we are having two types of connection. One is star and second one is a delta, by which we can form a three-phase AC circuit. So here in this today's video lecture, we are going to discuss the first type of connection, and that is star connection. So here in the star connection, the similar ends either start or finish of the three windings are connected to a common point. This is the same star connection as it was discussed in our chapter number 1 in star and delta connection. Now, the three line conductors run from the remaining three free terminals are known as a line conductors. And the three wires are carried to the external circuit, giving three phase, three wire, or maybe you can also use four wire system. Now, however, sometimes fourth wire is carried from the star point, or basically a common point, to the external circuit, which will be known as a neutral wire. So basically, as mentioned in this point third and fourth, we can develop a three-wire system or four-wire system, which will be discussed over here. So basically, this diagrams are representing the star connection. Here we are having three coils. First of all, let me tell you, these three inductors are not normal inductor. That are the part of the coil of generator. That means whatever voltage will be generated, that voltage will be generated in these three coils. So these are the coils of generator. So that's why you can consider this coils as a voltage source. So, as these are the symbol of inductor, but always remember that these are not a normal inductor which we use in load. These are the sources. Here we will have three voltage sources. As an example, V1, V2, V3. So these are considered as a three voltage sources. And as shown in this diagram, these sources are connected in form of a star connection as shown in this diagram. Here we are having one common point and there are three remaining terminals. One is A, B and the C are separated over here, by which we can provide supply to any three-phase load. And as I mentioned, in some cases, we also use this fourth terminal as a neutral terminal, neutral wire. So same is shown over here. Here, the one point out, all these three windings is taken as a common here. This first, this would end here from B winding. This is one end, and from this C winding, this is one of the end. And these three ends of individual windings are taken as a common over here as a neutral terminal, and the remaining three terminals as A, B, C are considered as a line terminal A, B, C. So this is the basic structure of star connected three-phase system. Now, if whether it is star connection or it is a delta connection, for those connection we will define this four terms over here. So let's start one by one. What is the phase voltage? Phase voltage is measured between the neutral and any line. Here, if we observe the previous circuit, first of all let me tell you what is the one phase and what is one line over here. Here we have formed three-phase circuit by combining three individual circuits. So this is one circuit, one phase. If you consider as a from A to N, this portion, this will be considered as a one phase, one supply. So this will be considered as one phase, one supply. Same way, this B to N, that can be considered as another supply, and this C to N is third supply. So by combining these three, we have to form three-phase circuit. So these three sources here we have V1, V2 or V3, or we can say VA, VB, VC. So we are having three individual circuits that are given over here. So if we measure the voltage or current of these three individual circuits, that is considered the phase voltage or phase current. And this line here, this A terminal, why this wire is connected? To provide a supply to some load. So here we are having a voltage source, and by this wire we are providing supply to any another circuit. So that's why this wire is known as a supply lines or simple line. Same way, this wire which is connected with this B and this wire is also known as a supply wires. So if we measure current or voltage across these lines, supply lines, means this A line, B line, and the C line. So that voltage or current with reference to that lines, that will be known as a line voltage. So let's again discuss this parameter. First one is the phase voltage. So what is the phase voltage? As mentioned, if you measure the voltage across one phase winding, one winding, and that means one terminal will be line and one terminal will be neutral. So that can be considered as a one phase voltage. Same, what is line voltage? If we measure the voltage between any two lines, as an example, if you consider line A and line B, and if you directly measure in between these two lines, so from A to B, there will be two coils in between those two lines. and that voltage will be known as a line voltage. Same way you can consider B to C, and same way you can consider C to A. Same with line current. If you measure the current in line A, line B, or line C, that currents will be defined as a line current. So these are the parameters. If we define over here those four parameters, so here first one was the phase voltage. And as we discussed, if we measure the voltage across one phase, one winding, so this can be considered one phase, one winding. And if you measure the voltage across this one, so here we are having one point of line and one neutral point. So across this, whatever will be the voltage, that will be defined as the phase voltage, and that's why it is normally indicated by E phase PH by using word phase. And same way, line voltage. If we measure voltage between two lines, this is R line and this is Y line over here. So if we measure between these two lines directly, so in between these two, if we move from over here to here, so that there will be two coils, two phases, and that voltage between two lines will be known as a line voltage. Same way, current. If we measure the current of this phase, this winding, that will be known as a phase current, and if we measure the current in line, the supply line, that will define the line current. And here, one more important point over here. Up to now, we had considered terminals as a 1, 2, 3, or maybe ABC. But from now, we will define the terminal, and by those, we will define the voltage and current in terms of this R, Y, and B. What is R, Y, B? That is nothing but that is derived from red, yellow, and blue. When we install three-phase system, normally we use red color, yellow color, and blue color wire for phase 1, 2, and 3. And from that we derive this terminal R, Y, and B. So whatever voltage terminal will be defined, that will be defined now based on this R, Y, B. And let's discuss the star connection. And here we are going to discuss the relation between the phase voltage and line voltage, phase current and line current for this given star connection. And for that, here we have defined these four parameters for star connection. So here, as we have discussed, is we measure the voltage across one circuit or one phase, or if we measure the current of one phase, that is phase current and phase voltage, and if we measure the current of one line or voltage across line, that is a line voltage and line current. So these are parameters which are discussed over here. So now next, let's discuss the relation between phase voltage and line voltage in star connection. So for that, here we have considered a star connection, which is this neutral terminal, in which we are having three sources in form of a star. And here we have considered this as a R terminal, Y terminal, and this is a B terminal. Now here, if we define those parameters, so here if we define the phase voltages, so we are having three windings, and across these three windings we can define three voltages. So phase voltage across this first winding. So here R point and this is N point. So that voltage can be defined as ERN. So this is across R to N. So that is first phase voltage. Same way, this is second winding. So across this Y and N. So second voltage can be defined by this EYN. Same way, here across this B and this N. The third voltage can be defined by this EBN. So these are the three phase voltages. And as we are considering balance condition, we will consider that value or magnitude of this three phase voltage is going to be same and with phase difference of 120 degree. Same way if we define three phase current, so three winding currents. So here IR for this IY and IB. So these are the three phase current, and same with three line current. So this is first line. So let's define it as a IL1. The second line, let's define it by IL2, and this third line, let's define it by IL3. And now fourth, that is line voltage across this two lines. So from R to Y line, so VRY. From Y to B, so that is over here, VYB. And from B to R, that is VBR. But let me tell you one more thing. you cannot define VYR instead of RY. Why? Because we know that if we define VAB and we define VBA, so magnitude will be same, but polarity of this will be reverse. So that's why when we define VRY, instead of that, you cannot write down as a VYR, because it will have a negative sign with reference to this voltage. So we will always continue with these parameters VRY, YB, and VBR. So here we have defined four parameters in which mainly we have defined the line voltage and phase voltage. Now, let's continue the theory over here. So basically, these are the parameters which are defined over here: three phase voltages, three phase current, three line voltage, and three line voltage and line current, which are given over here. Now let's find out the relation between the phase voltage and line voltage. Now, as I mentioned, we are considering balance condition, so those are having the same magnitude. And in general case, we will define phase voltage as these are having same magnitude. In general case, we will define this phase voltage as EPH. Same way, phase current IPH, and line voltage with VL, and line current with IL. So, by considering this, if you find out the relation between phase current and line current before, so from diagram we can observe that here the current which is flowing from this branch, this is IR, and current flowing through this branch, both are going to be same as both are in series connection. So here IR is going to be IL1, same way IY is going to be same as the IL2, same way IL3 is going to be IB, and we know that all these three having same value, all these three are having same value. That means in general case these all are having same value. So in simple way we can say that all phase currents are equal to all line current. So this is simple relation between phase current and line current. Means we are getting the phase current is equal to line current over here. This was the relation for currents, and now we define for voltage. So these are the three phase voltages, and now we define one line voltage by phase voltage. So we are having VRY. If we define VRY from phase voltage, so what was the VRY? So that was the across R to Y, and when we move from R to Y, so when we are moving from R to Y, so basically VRY is across this two, and if we move from R to Y, so we are going through this first phase winding, and voltage of this first phase winding is VRN, as we are going from R to N. So we will consider it as a plus 1. So here, when we go from R to Y to calculate VRY, first of all we are moving from this coil and from R to Y. That's why we will consider it as a plus ERN. And same way, when we move from N to Y, the voltage across this winding is EYN. But now we are moving from N to Y. This voltage was measured with reference to Y to N. So that's why we will consider voltage of this branch with negative sign. So here we had add this one plus, but with minus sign, that is minus EYN. So if we put this minus sign over here, so that will give us a ERN minus EYN. So similarly, if we define the second voltage VYB, so that will provide the EYN minus EBN. Similarly, B for BR, that is EBN minus ERN. And if we plot the phasor diagram for this relation, again we know this phase voltage, three phase voltage are having same value and equal phase displacement. And normally when we will draw the phasor diagram for three phase circuit, we will always start with the phase voltages, because that will be provided initially, and based on that other voltage, other current will be produced. So first of all, if we plot these voltages in form of phase diagram over here, so here if we plot three phase voltage initially. So here we are having first phase voltage. Let's start with the ERN. So here we have plotted ERN in this direction. So that was considered as the reference one. And with reference to ERN, YN will be at 120 degrees. So with reference to this, YN is at 120 degree, and with reference to that, BN is at again 120 degree. So initially this first three vector will be plotted. Now let's find out the VRY. Equation of that is ERN minus this YN component. So ERN is over here, but we need to find out minus YN component. So here we are having plus YN component, and if you want to find out minus YN component, so that will be the same vector in reverse direction. So this vector, that is nothing but a minus EYN. And if we add this 2 by forming a parallelogram, so here this dotted line is forming a parallelogram between these two, these vector is representing the VRY. The same way you can plot VYB and VBR. And if we find out the angles over here, so initially between these three angles was 120 degree. So this total angle from here to here was 120 degree. When we plotted this reverse vector, so that divided this total angle into half. So initially we get this angle as 60. Again we plotted this resultant one from the center. So again that divided these angle into half. So this angle are 30 and this is also 30. So basically we are getting first line voltage at 30 degree with reference to this first phase voltage. So this was the relation between phase voltage and line voltage. But up to now we are just find out the phase angle. We also want to find out the magnitude of that resultant one. And for that we can find out the resultant of that VRY, means magnitude of that VRY. And for that we are having equation when two vectors having same magnitude and angle difference of something alpha. So that can be found out by this given equation. So as an example, if V1 and V2 are two vectors at 60 degree or some alpha degree, and if you find out the resultant of this 2, so that is V1 square plus V2 square plus 2 V1 V2 into cos alpha. Same way, if you put the value of those components phase voltages, the first one is ERN square EYN square plus 2 ERN into EYN and cos 60. That was the angle between these two. So cos 60 is 1 by 2, just by 2 and by 2 will be cancelled out. So here we will get the 2 times phase voltage, and all are having same value. So basically here we are getting the E square phase voltage, again E means phase voltage square and 2 times phase voltage. So this 2 and 2 will be cancelled out, but we are getting the square of this 2. So basically as we are getting the square again over here, so basically we are having 3 times phase voltage square. So that is 3 E square PH. And if we take out this 3 from over here, so this will give us E phase voltage, and here we will have a root 3. We are getting the magnitude of line voltage VRI, that is root 3 times the phase voltage. So here we get the angle of line voltage and we get the relation between line voltage and phase voltage. So basically in the series we have derived the relation between phase current, phase voltage, line voltage. And if we also calculate the powers in this 3-phase star connection, and for a single phase, we know that what is power for single phase one circuit, that is V phase, I phase, cos phi. And instead of this phase quantity, if we put the line quantity, as we have a relation now, so what is the relation between phase voltage, line voltage? So VL was, VL is equal to root 3 PH. So we can write down V phase is equal to VL by root 3. And this phase current and line current, in case of star, both are same, we can just replace this quantity. This is for single phase circuit, but now we are having 3 circuits in 3 phase. So we can multiply this power by 3 as we are having 3 circuits. So that is going to be 3 into power per phase. And this is one phase power over here. If you put these values over here, so this 3 and root 3 will be cancel out each other. So we will get the equation of power root 3 VL IL cos R. So this is the equation of power in three-phase circuit when we use star connection. So basically, up to now we have discussed the relation between the phase current and line current, phase voltage, line voltage, and as well as derive the equation of power for star connection. So this was all for today's lecture. Thank you for watching this video.